quick. Voila.
Shout out to Borbas.
Yes. Thanks for showing up, JB. Oh, let's just keep going. Just make sure it's on.
So we're on there now?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Cool. Audio is working, so we're good. Let's see if this wakes you up, Kevin. Kevin!
I wait for this. Good morning. 9:30 usually.
There you go.
9:30 usually.
Yo, good morning. What's up, man? It's your boy Rene. Along with me is the great Kevin Kelly. What's up, Kevin? It's just me and Kevin today because JB, I don't know why, but he hasn't showed up. So it's all good. We can move on without him for the Nightmare Matchup, his segment, which we created just for him. I'm going to cover it, and Kevin's going to give me his opinion. So be on the lookout for that. We got an action-packed weekend. We got the Espresso Round, which is not the Espresso Round because Kevin is here. So we got the drink of the day. We're bringing it back, baby. We got the Wild Turkey American Honey. And now it's just me and you, so it's four.
And you know what? That's all right.
4 questions.
I'm still going to beat you.
It's 4 questions. And I was trying to set Borba up to drink one, so I might have set you up.
That's all right. We'll get it.
But all right, man, let's get it rolling. So we'll start with my new little segment, the Espresso Round, which is got an asterisk next to it because it's actually Wild Turkey. So we're gonna take a sip for everyone that you get wrong, Kevin, or you get right. I'll take one.
Oh, all right.
All right, so let's start off with Walter Payton only won one NFL rushing title in his career.
Oh, that's false.
It's true or false? No, it's definitely true. He only won one NFL rushing title. Yeah. That one was set up, huh? All right.
When you say Walter Payton. All right.
This one,
All right.
I'm just going to give you a hint. Just make sure you listen, okay? That's my only hint. All right. The Joe Lombardi Trophy is given each year to the winning team of the Super Bowl.
False.
Nah. Yeah, there you go. Man, shout out to the Joes out there. Joe Mama. Oh, that's me. Dang it. I'm trying to bail out. Damn, this is so good. Honestly, it's probably the best whiskey I've ever had. To be honest. And it's only $23.99 at Albertsons. Not sponsored by them, but it's so good. It's that good. Yeah. Shout out to Wild Turkey. All right. Tony Romo was on an NBA roster.
On an NBA?
On an NBA roster.
No way.
Damn, I thought that was Borbas setup one. Tony Romo actually dressed up with the Mavericks his last season. And he got on the pregame. He did the layup lines and the shoot around with them.
But he was not on.
Yeah, and he dressed up and was on the bench, but technically he wasn't on the roster because the NBA wouldn't allow it.
Yes. All right.
I guess we're gonna wake
2
up
for
this
3.
morning.
2 for 3. Yeah. Way back up.
Yeah, the way that just serves in there. All right, Kevin. Next one, last one. Kirk Cousins was number 12 in Washington. True or false?
I have no idea. Did he even play in Washington?
Obviously, that was for Borba, right?
I'm going to say false.
It's actually true. His first year there, he was number 12 for 2012, 2013, and then 2014 he went to number 8. That was Borba's question, and that was his setup question.
I didn't even know Kirk Cousins went to Washington. I guess I don't pay attention.
That's where he came from. Before they paid him all that money. All right, man. Let's move. I know. Damn, JB. Let me get a little bit of background here for a little background music for us real quick. Kev, what's your thoughts on this Wild Turkey, though? Like legit. Because you like whiskey, so you drinking.
I highly recommend that.
Well, Kevin's tongue's kind of bitter because he drinks IPAs, so he'll drink anything at that point. The only other person I know that drinks IPAs is Aaron. You know Aaron Espinoza.
Oh yeah.
Aaron loves that bitter shit too. I'm not being a hater. It's just like, damn, that's just too. I don't know if that makes me feminine.
I wasn't gonna say you had to be a man.
I mean, I drink Miller Lite, so does that make me?
Miller's good. Miller's alright.
There we go. A little football chatter in the background.
All
right. So next one, I got Get Off Me. What Get Off Me is, Kevin, I'm going to show you a video, and I just want to know what your thoughts are on what's going on these plays. So let me get it up here on the screen for us.
Get off me!
Hey, this segment was created because of Derrick Henry, and here we go. We got Henry Ruggs making an incredible catch. Is this guy bad or what, Kev? Is he legit as a rookie? He's killing it there in Oakland. They're finally using him as a slot. You got here the Chicago Bears, Jimmy Graham. They just added him to the roster. Get off me! This looks like old school Kevin.
I called that one.
Yeah, you sure did. You did text me. You said you heard it here first. Then I was trying to talk you out of it. We got here Baker Mayfield. This catch may be lucky, but it takes some athleticism. Odell.
Come on, man.
Yay! Oh shit! I didn't realize it was on the coat. Right here, the young Herbert. Dude, he is a stud. Look at that. That's a goddamn dime. Look at that. Mike Williams. Say my name. Say my name. The Saints defense is vulnerable right now. And the highlight of the week, of last week. Here we go. Get off me! Josh Norman. Oh, yeah, for sure. Look at Josh Norman.
Strength. Looks like a Marshawn Lynch highlight, but he could outrun you too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Henry is a stud. Well, I remember watching him at Alabama, and I'm such an Alabama hater that I was just like, "Oh, this guy's not gonna be good."
No, he's a monster, man.
Yeah, that's just me being a hater for sure.
We gotta face him twice a year. I'm not looking forward to those 2 weeks. I think we play him, then we get a week off, and then we play him again. So it's
yeah. The only bright side to that is the fact that because of COVID, how their games have been shortened.
Sure.
So we'll break down that game here in a little bit, but I feel like that may have an effect on them given the short schedule. They haven't had much practice because their facility's been closed down, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. That was Get Off Me! New segment brought to you by Kevin.
Borbas.
What'd you think? Someone told me I do need to get a cutout of. Is that you?
No.
Were you the one that told me this?
No.
I forgot who told me that, but I need to get a cutout of Borbas when he doesn't show up. Kind of like the Vikings, they just don't show up. Don't show up. So this next segment was set up for Borbas nightmare matchup. I sort of kind of prepared for this in somewhat sort of. So let me give you my nightmare matchup, and then Kevin, you tell me what you think. But for my nightmare matchup today, I do got Jimmy Garoppolo against the I was gonna say St. Louis, but the Los Angeles Rams. Against the Rams. Aaron Donald right now is between him and Myles Garrett. These two guys are the front runners for Defense Player of the Year. This San Francisco offensive line is beat up, battered. They're down on the ground. I don't know how well they're going to play today. And because of that, I think that you have to watch out for that defensive line that the Rams do have. Aaron Donald, I feel, is going to have at least 3+ sacks himself on Jimmy Garoppolo. We're talking about a statue here, Kevin. A statue. This guy just stands in the pocket. Hasn't really showed his athleticism getting out of the pocket. He does have the potential to get out of the pocket. He's shown that he's capable of running, but we haven't seen it enough. And I don't know if it's because his defense is that depleted, but I have Aaron Donald balling out today against this San Francisco offensive line. That's my nightmare matchup.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Lock that in. Aaron Donald's going to have a hell of a day. Like you said, their offensive line is beat up. I'm with you. It looks like a bad day for Jimmy G. They might be pulling him out early again this week.
Yeah, that's good. It's going to be scary. My next one also, I'm going to stick with the defensive end here. I'm going to go with Khalil Mack and that Chicago defense against Teddy Bridgewater. We're going to have to see a lot more from Teddy Bridgewater in order for them to win this game. I understand that that offense there in Chicago isn't the greatest thing in the world, but Nick Foles has shown that he can get them there. As you said last week, you called that winning game against Tampa Bay. But the question really is Tampa Bay really that good, or are we overhyping them? That's a question that we'll answer for you here in a bit. But nightmare matchup, Chicago's defense against a McCaffrey-less Panthers team. So really it's all on Teddy Bridgewater.
Just play devil's advocate there. I think Carolina's offense is playing not too bad. Teddy Bridgewater is a good fit. Who's that receiver? Is it Moore?
They got Moore, and then they got Anderson.
Having a good year. And their backup for McCaffrey is actually not having a bad year.
He's playing really well.
He's playing well. So, you know what? The more suspect thing is Chicago's offense. Let's talk about Chicago's offense. I don't know. I mean, I can't rely on them. You look back 2 weeks ago when they played the Colts. Colts are kicking lots of field goals, but the Bears couldn't score touchdowns either. So,
oh yeah, for sure. My only argument to that would be Carolina. I mean, I like them. I want them to do good, especially after when you hear Teddy Bridgewater's story. He shouldn't even be able to walk, let alone play in the NFL again. That offense is clicking on all cylinders. The only thing for me is that defense, and we're going to touch on this in a little bit too, so I don't want to get too in depth. But that defense gives up almost 30 points a game.
Carolina,
yeah. So that. You got to assume that Nick Foles is going to have a lights out day because of that defense. So it's going to be a shootout. My only thing is that if you don't want to get in a shootout against the top 5 defense, that's where I make the argument on that. And that's why I think this is a nightmare matchup. But I hope Teddy Bridgewater does light him up. I will say that. Let's see. That's it for my nightmares matchup. Kev, you got anybody that you think is just going to be – if you say the Cardinals against the Cowboys, we're just going to end this segment.
I'm expecting Dalton to go ball out, but we'll get on that later. I think we're going to destroy Cincinnati today.
You should.
We should.
Yeah, definitely.
So you want to talk about nightmare matchups? That's sorry, Cincy.
So are we talking nightmare matchup as just complete offense?
Well, I wouldn't say complete offense.
Or just a complete team. A complete team. Yeah. Actually, we will.
But no, I expect the Colts hopefully to come out and score some touchdowns, but we'll see.
Sweet. All right, Kev. This one here. Let's move on. We got the hot seat. I sent you who I think was on the hot seat. If you agree with me or disagree, but let's start off with Borbas' team here. Zimmerman as the coach. I also wanted to throw in Kirk Cousins, but I think a lot of the fault that is going on in Minnesota is on Zimmerman due to the fact that he's a defensive-minded coach, and this team just keeps giving up big plays. Do you think Mike Zimmerman is on the hot seat this week as far as thinking about getting fired?
Yeah, I mean, being a defensive-minded coach and your defense is getting lit up, I don't know.
And they're going against the 0-5 Falcons team.
Falcons can go off. Yeah, they can. I know they're 0-5. I know they're 0-5 and it's looking bad, but you never know. I mean, it's the NFL. They're going to win a game at some point. Maybe this is the game that they get out. Yeah, and then maybe Zimmerman is. Yeah, he might be getting really hot after this week if he loses the 0-5.
And like you said, the Falcons, you can't really sleep on them because they've had leads. There's games that they should have for one Dallas.
Against the Cowboys.
Yeah, 100%. If you didn't have 5 idiots playing hot potato, Dallas loses that game.
What is that? That made me so mad. I'm like, seriously, why did you wait around?
See, and I don't even want to blame that on the coach because as a football player,
7 years old, you're taught that ball.
Jump on it. Yeah, jump on it, bro. It doesn't make sense. Even for someone that just watches football would know that you could just jump on that ball within that 10 yards too. I mean,
but Zimmerman definitely on the hot seat, especially at least in the 0-5 Falcons team this week. So we'll
and the Vikings are 1-4, and they've been in each game that they've played, except for the Packers game when they blew them out there completely. But that was week 1, so you can say it's week 1. They had no preseason, blah blah blah, no training camp, blah blah. You can make that argument, but now we're in week 6. If you don't show out today, I think it's time to this is the sad part. Mike Zimmerman actually got an extension before the season started, and then they restructured Kirk Cousins' contract to have more cap space this year. May have been the dumbest idea ever, because don't get me wrong, I think Mike Zimmerman's a good coach or a good defense coordinator. He's definitely showed it in the past years. It's just this year, I think we overhype them.
Yeah.
Not just me, not just JB, but I mean, I'm talking about the mainstream media as far as like ESPN, Fox, CBS. Everybody's overhyped them because we all had high expectations for them coming off of last year.
Right. Yeah, I definitely did not expect them to be 1-4.
So Mike Zimmerman's definitely on the hot seat. I think if they lose today, we're looking at a firing within the next week or two, especially if they lose next week. But it doesn't look good. Kevin, my next one is Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is on the hot seat given the expectations of the 49ers? They're 2-3. They're playing a divisional team in the Rams. Is Jimmy Garoppolo on the hot seat? I understand that he's hurt. I understand the ankle isn't 100%. But yesterday, Jimmy Garoppolo said he's 100%. If he's saying he's 100%, that means he feels comfortable going into this game. I've said this over and over and over and over again. I do not believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. One of the reasons they lost the Super Bowl was because of Jimmy Garoppolo. I've said this over and over again. The only reason the San Francisco 49ers got to the dance is strictly on that defense and the running game. But there was not one moment in last year's season where I said Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win this team games. Is he on the hot seat going in to this game, potentially being 2-4 against one of the toughest divisions? Because we're talking, if they lose this game, let me read you this real quick, Kevin. These are the next couple games for this team.
You're taking away all my arguments.
Sorry, I'm talking too much. Let me tell you what this team has in store for them. The next couple games. I mean, this schedule is bonkers. It definitely doesn't help the 49ers. Sorry, I thought I had it up.
Right, but he's got a beat up offensive line. You know?
Yep.
And you got Aaron Donald on the other side. I do not expect Jimmy G to have a good day. So is he on the hot seat? I'm going to say no right now. I mean, he's expected to have a bad day today. I don't know.
Look, Kev, they lose today. They got the Patriots next week, Seattle the week after, Green Bay, New Orleans, and they go back to play the Rams.
And it sounds like
on the road.
Either way, they're doomed.
And then to end the route, they got the goddamn Buffalo Bills.
The Bills, man. I'm on the fence still with the Bills. I don't know.
Well, you'll touch on that here.
But I know. We'll see.
Yeah, and they got the Chiefs today.
Yeah.
But do you get where I'm coming from as far as San Francisco? It's almost like if Jimmy G doesn't perform today, I almost feel like you just tank it because you're expected to lose. I mean, they're not the favorites in any of these games coming up.
No.
I think it's time to move on. Am I overreacting? Probably. But, I mean, I'm not an expert. I never played quarterback outside of hike and spike it. But
you know what? You look at these other elite quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't matter what his offensive line looks like. He's going to go off. So if you're that guy, you're supposed to be the guy.
Exactly.
You should probably put the team on his shoulders a little bit. So maybe he is on the hot seat if he doesn't show out today and at least make a decent showing.
The one thing that I was telling my wife, I don't know how much she was listening, but I was talking. But Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, there's only so many statues left in the NFL, and Jimmy Garoppolo is one of them. I mean, you're looking at him, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, and you can even say Drew Brees. But I feel like Drew Brees is a little more mobile. Outside of those four guys, outside of Tom Brady, they all have a losing record. I just don't see Jimmy Garoppolo without him showing us a performance of getting outside the pocket. I just don't see him fitting in going forward in the NFL, especially in this division. This division doesn't look like it's going to get any weaker. If he was in the NFC East, I would give him a chance, but he's not.
In that division, but you know, even the Titans, man, are running away with our division. But no, I mean, maybe drop some more bootlegs for him. Just try to showcase what he can.
Yeah.
Do, you know, put him in some better positions, but we'll see.
Yeah. And Shanahan's the guy to do it. He's an offensive guru. So let's see what he does this weekend, especially against a tough defensive line there in Los Angeles. All right, Kev, last one. I was looking forward to hearing your answer on this one. Let's go with Mr. Good old Phillip Rivers. You got Jacoby Brissett warming up his hands, tasting that water to come back. Are you sold? Not are you sold, but or you can tell me if you're sold on him or have you been sold on him. But is this it for Phillip Rivers as of today?
No. You know what? We signed him to a 1-year contract. It's not. I mean, is he on the hot seat? Yeah, he's not playing well. He's got 5 interceptions to 4 touchdowns. We get inside the 20 and he finds a defender and throws the ball to him. It's bad. We're kicking a lot of field goals. I'm not going to sit back and say, "Oh, Rivers is my guy." He's not. I think this is his last year. I don't think we re-sign him.
Yeah.
I hope we don't re-sign him. If anybody out there that matters is watching. No, but I mean, he's going to be our quarterback to finish the season. I think he gives us a decent chance. Jacoby might be able to come in and manage the game a little better, not turn over the ball as much. But we paid the guy to come in and play here. I think he's here.
You got to write him out. Do you feel like you got to write him out? I mean, let's not forget the Colts are 3-2. It's not like they're
we're not dying yet, but we should definitely rely a little more on the run game, and especially inside the 20. Rivers, I don't know what it is. He finds a defender when he's inside the 20.
My thing here, Kevin, is and I don't follow the Colts like crazy, so maybe you can educate me here. But do you feel like it's a Phillip Rivers issue or is it the play calling? Like, because you guys have 2 stud running backs. Obviously, Marlon Mack's hurt; he's done. But you got a rookie running back that showed that he has the potential to be great, and he's been playing really good. I got him on fantasy league, so that's one of the main reasons that I do follow him. Taylor's playing good. Do you think it's the coaching that's taking him away from the running game, or do you just think it's the fact that they're being stopped in the red zone, and it's being forced on Phillip Rivers to make a play?
Yeah, we get down inside the red zone, we end up in 3rd and long, something like that.
And after that, you're kind of doing yeah.
And
it's a dump route or
Rivers, and he likes to take risks, and
one of the riskiest quarterbacks of all time, in my opinion. Outside of Tony Romo, one of the most riskiest quarterbacks of all time. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. The only difference is you don't have Keenan Allen, who's like 6'7".
Yeah, we don't have any huge guys. We got a couple receivers hurt as well, so I don't know. It's just his decision making. I feel like inside the 20, he just, like I said, he tends to find a defensive back. I don't know what it is.
That's just how it is.
I think we ride it out the rest of the season. We're not in bad situations. We haven't been blown out except for by the Browns this last week, really. But we're in every game, and
the Browns are good though. They beat the Cowboys.
The Browns are good. The Browns are good. I expect them to beat Pittsburgh, but we'll see.
We'll talk about that here in a second. That's a bold prediction there. I might jump on that wagon though. But I will say this though, I still think. Don't get me wrong, Phillip Rivers is going to win you a Super Bowl. I feel bad for the Colts because I felt like they were that piece away from really making some noise again. Andrew Luck, you're an asshole.
I know.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
What an asshole. The only reason I say he's an asshole is because that team was building specifically off of him. But what it does show to any GMs is take care of your offensive line.
Yep. Before they leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Take care of your offensive line. It's like one of those things where when you're at work and they just keep patching up, but they never take care of you. They just take care of everything around you, but they never take care of you. And that's kind of what I saw there. I feel bad for Andrew Luck, but I think, the guy had an engineering degree from Stanford. I think he was like top 10 graduate in his class. Like, dude, no problem.
He didn't need
retire. Yeah. There's no need for the brain injuries, especially the way the guy was being hit. So I think he's a smart fucking dude, obviously, right?
Well, we're seeing that more and more. You're seeing a lot of younger guys get out. Look at Calvin Johnson. How old was he when he got out of the league? He was
stay in school. Granted, Calvin Johnson didn't have a
but degree. So, we're seeing young guys, Luke Keith.
Just getting out of the game, and you have to though. There's only from experience getting hit. Can you imagine getting hit in the head for the next 10 years outside of high school?
Oh man, and they only hit harder and harder every year.
Oh yeah, exactly. So unless a flag football league comes up, I don't see Andrew Luck coming back. But I do feel bad for Colts fans, specifically for that reason, the fact that they were building around him. But for anybody else out there, it just proves that you got to start with the offensive line to protect your quarterback. And then outside of that, if your quarterback's that good, Look at Aaron Rodgers. Look at Tom Brady. They make wide receivers and tight ends because you're protecting them. I don't know why teams don't take care of their offensive line more.
That's where it starts. Man.
Yeah, big boys need money too.
You can't sit back in the pocket and throw the ball. You're doomed. You're in for a long day. So
yeah, fat girls need love too. Big boys need love too, man. Big boys need love too. All right, Kev, let's move on here. Let's move on to our quick picks breakdown. Let's see.
Borbas turn again.
Yeah. Oh, damn it, Borba.
You really need to cut out. I love you, Borba, by the way. I'm just sad.
Just talking shit. I know. Kevin was looking forward to you being here, man. But it's just me and Kevin. As Alisar said from Home Alone, Kevin! That shit was funny when he posted that on there. But let's move on to our quick picks breakdown. We're going to go through JB selections here. We had the Texans against the Titans. The Texans only won one game. We were just talking about Derrick Henry, which was the creator of our Get Off Me. What do you think there, Kev? What's your prediction? Who's going to win? And then if you want to elaborate, it's up to you.
That's an easy one, man. The Titans, I mean, they're just firing on all cylinders. Feed the beast, baby. Give Derrick Henry the ball and let him Josh Norman. A lot of people. That's what I would be doing. And they're in my division. I wish they would lose, but if you had one lock this week, it'd be the Titans. I don't know what the spread is or whatever, but straight up, Titans are taking that game.
With that being said, the spread is -3.5.
I'd take 3.5.
This defense isn't gonna be able to stop this team. The only thing that I don't want, that I hope doesn't happen, is I know Ryan Tannehill is playing great football. I mean, he looks impressive. He looks like his money's worth. The only thing is don't forget what's getting you to the dance, man. Do not get away from your specialty. I mean, we see it in Dallas. I see it in Dallas. Getting away from what made you good or great. Tennessee, keep feeding this man and don't stop, because that's the only reason Ryan Tannehill is balling out, is because everybody is stacking the box. They want to stop Derrick Henry. So keep it going and keep it moving, baby. Kevin, we got the next one here. We got the Atlanta Falcons going over to the Vikings. We already said Mike Zimmerman is on the hot seat. They don't have Dalvin Cook, but their running game is still solid. Atlanta's defense is beginning at 25 plus points a game. I mean, they don't look like they're getting any better. What do you got on here? What's your prediction?
I'm taking the Falcons mostly because I'm mad that Borba's not here again.
Yeah, is it really an upset?
I'm taking the Falcons, man. They're 0-5. They gotta win a game. The Vikings give up a lot of points too. Their defense isn't very good. So I'm taking.
I agree with you there. And the one thing that I will say is the experts are talking about how the Vikings are getting it together. My guys, they've won one game, and it was against the Houston Texans, who have a terrible defense, who can't stop the run whatsoever. Dalvin Cook is out. Falcons give up points, but they start off extremely strong. They got a new coach in the game. They fired the problem. Now it's time to bite down on that mouthpiece and move forward. I got the Atlanta Falcons winning this game. I don't even consider this an upset because they're both terrible, but I do have more faith in the Atlanta offense, even though they got a goddamn statue back there in Matt Ryan. And I don't know how long Matt Ryan is there for. I honestly feel like if they lose, we're looking at trades for Matt Ryan. I've seen on NFL Live them talking about Matt Ryan maybe being a fit in Indianapolis. Not a bad idea. Matt Ryan he's not ass, but he doesn't turn the ball over as much as a lot of other quarterbacks do. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I've also seen talks about Matt Ryan maybe being traded to San Francisco 49ers. Same situation. This guy can throw the goddamn rock. The only thing is you got to have an offensive line. That's the difference. If you have an offensive line, Matt Ryan can win you some games. But I agree with you there, Kev. Fuck Borba. Excuse my language. He didn't show up. I don't expect the Vikings to show up. Atlanta gets this dub.
Borba sets the standard there.
I honestly like that bet, to be honest.
What's the
spread's -3.5, so you put the Falcons at +3.5. If the Falcons lose this game, it is going to be by 3 points. It's going to be a close one. Yeah. The over-under is 52.5. So what? That's 20, 26 points a team. That's actually not a bad deal, given both teams are kind of mediocre at defense. You expect a shootout there. And Julio Jones is playing. He is back today. So that's going to help that out. Kev, we got the Lions against the Jaguars.
The Jags, the Minshew Magic. If I could just have my Minshew mustache, I would.
Have you thought about it?
Yeah. My wife told me no.
First of all,
you cannot just have a mustache. I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to curl it. She said no. So,
how long would it take you to get this back?
This?
Yeah.
A couple weeks, maybe.
Oh, okay, so you would have that hard for a good.
I'd have it. I would keep it though. I'm telling you.
No shave November. You should do it for No Shave November.
If Minshew wins that game.
Which game? This one? Yeah.
Never mind, Minshew. Maybe next week. Yeah, man. I'm going with the Jags. They're not looking bad. Another division rival of the Colts. You know, they're looking pretty good. They beat us week 1, which I think was just
the only
season
one
game. But no, but they beat us. You know, they're not looking bad. Their defense is not bad. They're decent. Like I said, I believe in the Minshew Magic. So
I'll have to disagree with you here. I'm not sold on him yet. I do love his mustache. It doesn't make me want to get a mustache. I'll tell you that. I've seen myself with just a mustache, and I don't like it. I stick with the little bing bang.
Yep, looks good.
Yeah, I look. Honestly, if I just put on some Dickies, I'd probably look like a hard ass gangster. That's the whiskey talking. But I think the Lions win. Matt Patricia's definitely on the hot seat. I know I didn't mention him earlier, but he's on the hot seat. I mean, this guy does not have a winning record whatsoever since he came to Detroit. The only reason Detroit had brought him over was to completely change the organization. We have yet to see that. But they still got Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford is a dog. If anybody wants someone on their team, they want somebody with a Matt Stafford mentality. This guy fights this guy swings until he can't swing anymore. I like the Lions going into this game solely on Matthew Stafford. I don't believe on that defense. They're missing their best cornerback. They got rid of Darius Slay. So I think the Jaguars are going to put up points, but I think the Lions edge this out. I'm going to say 24-23 Lions. Honestly, most people might say this game's going to be boring. I don't want to watch it. As far as entertainment, I think this game's going to be really good because you're going to somewhat see a shootout. Yeah. Both teams lack on defense. Well, I guess the Jaguars aren't too terrible on defense, only giving up 20 points a game, 20 to 25 points a game, but it's Matthew Stafford. That's personal to me. It's personal to me. I just love the guy. He's got heart, blah, blah. That's the only reason I'm choosing him. So if you got money, don't put it on this game. That's for sure.
He's just stuck in Detroit.
Let's move on, Kev. Let's go to me. Let's go to the Ravens against the Eagles. Kev, Lamar Jackson and that offense have not looked like the offense that we've seen the last 2 years, especially last year with his MVP season. I think it's a lot of the fact that they're getting away from the running game, and I think the media is getting into their head as far as saying Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball. Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball in the pocket. Lamar Jackson isn't accurate. I'm one of those guys. I've been saying that shit. Lamar Jackson is not great when you force him to stay in the pocket. But here it is, Baltimore. Who cares what anybody says? Do what gets you to the goddamn dance. What made Lamar Jackson the MVP? What made you guys get a first-round bye? And what's going to give you guys your best chances to win? It's Lamar Jackson running the goddamn ball. RPOs. Quarterback draws. You got to set up plays for this guy. This guy's your best runner. I'm not saying he's a goddamn running back. He can obviously throw the ball. I mean, he's better throwing the ball outside the pocket than he is inside the pocket as far as accuracy goes. But you got to get that offense moving. Once Lamar Jackson starts clicking, then start using him in the pocket. But you can't just force him cold turkey to start throwing the ball, especially when he's not great at it. And it's okay if he's not great at it. Get him better at it, but you got to get rhythm first. I got the Ravens completely blowing this game out because I feel like that's going to happen today. This is a game for the Ravens to show or to display what they have offensively, and that's running the goddamn ball with Mark Ingram, with Lamar Jackson, and pounding it down this Philadelphia's throat. They got top 5 defensive line in the NFL as far as pass rush, but rush defense. Philadelphia is a little. Just saying.
You being a little biased.
I'm not. I'm just spitting facts here. I'm just spitting numbers. But if we're talking about numbers, Dallas would also be undefeated because Dak Prescott's got the biggest numbers in the NFL. So numbers don't matter. Numbers don't matter.
Apparently, I don't know. No, but I agree with you. I mean, if I was looking at this game, I'm taking the Ravens as well. Lamar and them are going to get back on track at some point. They've seen film on him, so maybe they slow him down a little bit. But like you said, get back to what was working for you. Go back to Lamar and let him run the ball and get outside the pocket. Get the guy outside the pocket. If he throws better out there, start with a couple
dumb routes.
Yeah, I mean, just start short, have him roll out a little bit, and then like you said, once you get into the game, get into a rhythm, sit him back in the pocket. But I mean, you got to put your guys in positions to win.
Exactly, and
it works for you.
And Jim Harbaugh showed that obviously the capability of this team and what we saw last year. Because this team's not. Don't get me wrong. This team's not trash. This team doesn't suck. No. I don't think this team's not going to make the playoffs. But what got them there last year? You got to feed off that. And you got to continue that run. But like we said, you got to give the guy confidence first before you just throw him out there to throw the ball. And that's what I think we're seeing. So expect a big game from Lamar Jackson and also Mr. Hollywood Brown out there because I expect him to have at least 2 touchdowns today. 2 touchdowns and one going for I'm going to say 60-yard touchdown. 60. Mr. Hollywood Brown. One of the best route runners in the NFL. This guy's beautiful watching to see. Watching him come off the break, he's probably one of the quickest in the NFL off that. And then that first jab step, this guy's good. Hollywood Brown's solid. When we're talking about slot receivers, when we're talking about help me out here, Kev. Chiefs Hill.
What about?
When similarities as far as just Hollywood Brown, that first step off the break, but then that jab step, boom, boom. This guy's insane. This guy's one of the top receivers, elite receivers, slot receivers. That is what I'm going to say specifically. I got them winning this game, and I have zero faith in Carson Wentz at this point. Zero faith in Carson Wentz.
Up there with Kirk Cousins,
Yeah.
Rely on the guy.
And this is where I feel bad is because he's never. I don't know if it was the injury that made him not look great because it could easily have been the injury, but I also think it's a mental perspective as far as Nick Foles winning that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How do you ever recover from you being sidelined due to an injury, which sucks? But in anybody's argument, any Philadelphia hater as myself would say if Carson Wentz was playing, they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl, which might have been bogus because that defense was was beyond me. That defense was incredible, but when you look at the decision making as far as Nick Foles and Carson Wentz that year, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about that year. The playbook was open to where Nick Foles was just able to sling the rock, and I felt like there was no repercussion for it. It was just like Nick Foles, whatever you see, throw it.
Yeah, will you come in as
and then we'll live as you die. Yeah, you have no expectations.
Exactly. There's no expectations. Hey, come on. It's like when he won that big game against Atlanta when he had just a few weeks ago. He comes out, there's no expectations. Hey, just go out there and sling the rock. We're down. And he goes out there and shows out. That's, I don't know, call him playoff Foles. I don't know what to do, but put the man in.
Foles is like a backup guru. He's not a great starter, but he's a solid. They should literally put Mitch Trubisky in the first half and then just be like, you suck. Nick Foles, save us. And then Nick Foles like, yes, sir.
Right,
say less.
He comes in and just shows out. But like you said, as a starter, he's just
I think that's a gimme today. That's a gimme. And Philadelphia, I hate to say this. Well, actually, you're in the NFC East, so you got a chance.
Still got a chance.
You got a goddamn chance.
Even if you lose today, you still got a chance.
Until the Cowboys win consistently, you have a chance. And if you're a Cowboys fan, until Philadelphia wins consistently, we have a chance. So I will say that. All right, let's move on to the Jets versus the Dolphins. The Jets look terrible as ever. Sam Darnold is not playing again due to injury. I don't know if it's injury. It may just be the fact that he's not very great. I do feel bad for Sam Darnold because Adam Casey's. I mean, that guy's probably the worst coach I've ever seen. I mean, ever since his first interview, I've never been sold on this guy. This Jets team has just been. I mean, they lost Jamal Adams, they lost Le'Veon Bell, they lost Robbie Anderson.
Come on.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell.
Adam
asshole.
Gase is destroying that team. I don't know what's going on over there, but they seem like the sure loss every week. They may be the 0-16 team this year. You know.
Damn, what's his name on ESPN? Greeny. You listen to Greeny?
Yeah.
On Get Up, he said that if I'm Lawrence from Clemson, I would think about staying another year in college football because how bad the Jets are. And we're talking about Greeny is a diehard New York Jets fan. Yeah. So for like a diehard fan to say, hey, bro, you should probably chill and stay in college because you don't want to come to this team. I think that says a lot. And you got to start looking at the owners. Everybody gives Jerry Jones a bunch of shit, including me, as far as like him hiring a GM. But this is also a problem here in New York. It may be just something that is coming from the top of the food chain. New York has a problem, and they don't know how to fix it. Yeah. Welcome to New York, because the Knicks still haven't figured it out.
I mean, it's just a big stage, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what's sad is like you would think the media would help them at this point because they've been shitting on them for so many years. But why would you go to New York?
You wouldn't.
Outside the Yankees,
well,
and even then the Yankees,
even they lost. Josh, you're watching. That's right. Doing the same thing the Red Sox are doing, but we're talking about football. So.
If you need to go on that rant, Kev, I got you.
I didn't watch a whole lot of baseball this year. The Red Sox were really bad. So
it's a bubble. It doesn't count.
Hey, now the Red Sox.
Josh, I got you, bro. It's a bubble. It doesn't count. No, but in New York, seriously, they're like, why would you want to go to New York? Outside of Brooklyn, you got Kevin Durant and Kyrie, right? Outside of that, I mean, the Giants are terrible. I mean, the Yankees can't get over the hump. The Jets are completely terrible. I don't watch hockey, so I can't give you that. But it's just, I mean, it's not looking good in New York. And I think a lot of the problems is you got to start with the media. I mean, I think obviously you got to start with the players because they play, and you got to start with the coaches. But I think the media puts too much pressure on a state that hasn't shown that they're great or good at that. Yeah. And that's a fact. Get off their ass and maybe they'll be good. And maybe somebody will want to go there. Yeah.
You know, just too much pressure.
What's crazy to me is the Knicks are still like top 5 in most successful organizations. I'm like, God damn. But tourists, that's what it is. All right, Kev, let's go on here. We got the Bengals, or actually we'll stop right there. We'll go with Washington versus the Giants, talking about New York being sorry, but Washington is in the NFC East as well. Yeah. And Chase Young, their rookie defensive end, still not back yet. Their starter for today is Kyle Allen, Alex Smith being the backup, and then you got doesn't matter, Haskins as the third quarterback. But this is a tough one.
I think another winless team gets a win today. I'm calling the Giants. The Giants. You heard it here first. The Giants over Washington today. The Giants are going to get a win.
I agree with you there. I don't know why. I mean that game is like the worst game to bet on, right? Like I would never bet on that game.
It'd be like Dallas playing Philly, you know, you just toss up. Who knows who's going to win?
I mean, like, yeah.
I hate to throw you under the bus there. I mean, any of these games, any of these divisional games,
two terrible teams.
You don't know what's going to happen, you know. But I think the Giants pull one out here, and we get another defeated team get a win here.
I agree with you there. Yeah, I don't need to elaborate on that. That game's so terrible. Yeah, you got Broncos against the Patriots. As far as what I've seen is Drew Lock is going to be playing. Cam Newton is the starting quarterback. Julian Edelman is also going to be playing, who is questionable going into this game. Who's going to win, Kev?
Pats, man. Especially they got Gilmore's back as well, I believe, right?
Yep.
I believe he was back. Yeah. So these guys they get their 2 studs back. I mean, hands down, the Pats are going to win this game. I just You can't bet against
Yeah,
Belichick.
the line is -7.5. If I'm gonna make a bet, this is it. I think New England covers this spread. This Broncos team is just not there yet. I understand what they're trying to do. They brought in some offensive weapons. They just can't stay healthy. They got the injury bug too, and unfortunately, it just means you're going to take an L today, especially with Cam Newton being out 2 weeks rested. He was asymptomatic. I don't think it affected him whatsoever. As far as like long-term conditions, we don't know. Obviously, we don't know enough about the virus to be able to make a prediction like that. But right now, zero effects on Cam Newton as far as we know. So you expect this guy being out 2 weeks to just completely
He's gonna be fresh.
ball out.
He's gonna be ready to go.
Completely ball out. Last one we got, Kev, is yours. The Bengals against the Colts.
Yep, I already told you earlier. Just lock it in. The Colts are just gonna destroy the Bengals today.
And
I do like Joe Burrow though. I mean, I can't say I hope he has a decent day because I hope he just throws 5 picks.
well, okay, so I saw he's been sacked 22 times, and this Colts defense is no joke. They got some solid linebackers there. They got a solid defensive line, I think. Can I name anybody? No, because I'm not really great at names anyway. So I'll give you some numbers, though. The Colts have one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. The Colts have one of the best linebackers in the NFL.
You know his name though.
I really don't.
You don't know Darius Leonard? Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm being a hater.
The maniac.
One of the best linebackers in the NFL.
If not the best.
The Bengals have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, giving up 22 sacks to this young man, Joe Burrow, who just completely keeps slinging that goddamn rock. I feel so bad for him because he's thrown 207 times, and his QBR is at plus 60, which isn't terrible, especially for a rookie quarterback. I mean, he's almost one of the leading passers in the NFL. But to bring this guy in and just completely sling the rock, bro, and get hit that many times,
Yeah, he's getting lit up.
I feel so bad for him. And I don't think it gets any better. I think the Colts have another 5+ sack a game. I don't know what the over-under is on sacks, but if it's over 3, Joe Burrow's getting smacked up today.
Yeah.
And Phillip Rivers is on the goddamn hot seat. Like we said, this is the team that you want to practice whatever you've been practicing in the red zone. This is where you want to use it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get in there. It's just a matter of finishing it. The only way the Colts lose this game is if they have I'm going to say that they get to the red zone 5 times. If they kick 3 field goals, the Colts are losing this game.
There's a high probability in that.
They're for sure losing this game. This Colts team has to at least get 3 touchdowns in this game to win it, because the Bengals aren't terrible. I mean, they're terrible, but they still got Joe Burrow showing us that he's got the capability of keeping them in games. They just haven't been able to finish them.
So you say Joe Burrow and the Bengals score at least 21 points? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying the Colts win. I'm just saying the only way that the Colts can lose is if they just can't finish in the red zone. If they continue to do what they're doing,
I was gonna say, there's been known to happen, so we'll see.
And Phillip Rivers is a turnover machine, but I think that we also gave him high expectations going into this season. I think a lot of people were saying that this guy was going to make them a playoff team, and I still think they will, especially the way the playoff format is set up, where an extra team is making the playoffs. But I mean, you look at
if we want a chance in the division,
exactly.
Tennessee twice.
I mean, honestly, there's no chance of division. I mean, you guys really are looking for a wild card. Oh, realistically.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you're looking at a time. You're looking at a Tennessee team that's probably going to be either 12-4,
they're gonna,
or 11-5, maybe, right? And you guys, I mean, you guys are only 3-2, so let's not panic just yet.
Not yet. We're not.
Let's not panic. And every time I go against the Colts, they seem to win. I'm going for the Colts, but the Bengals are going to win. Wink, wink.
Oh man, did you take the Browns last week? I missed that pick last week.
The Browns, I sure did.
Over the Colts?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. But
they got us.
I'm low key a Browns fan.
I would have extra teams too if I was in Dallas.
I'm a Bills fan.
Who's doing well this year?
I actually I don't know if this is gonna happen, but I did pick the Bills to go to the Super Bowl in my offseason picks. I think Josh Allen's a stud.
They're contenders for sure. They're gonna be up there.
All right, Kev, let's move up. Let's move into our matchup. We only got 20 minutes, so we're gonna kind of zoom in through this shit. So we got the Bears against the Panthers. We kind of talked about this a little bit. For me, I think the Bears end up pulling this off. sold on the fact that I told you we got two offenses that are explosive in Teddy Bridgewater. I lied. Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears offense isn't explosive, but they don't turn the ball over to where they cost themselves the game.
Right.
On the other side, you got Carolina, who doesn't have a very good defense that gives up 25-plus points a game. And I think Chicago's defense is just better, and their offense is enough to help them win. Carolina's playing great football, and I love it. I love the inspiration behind Teddy Bridgewater, but I just don't see him. I don't see them edging out this game. So if I'm going to put my money somewhere, I'm going to put it on Chicago today.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you. I know I argued about the Panthers earlier and their offense playing well, but like you said, if you had to put money on it, you're going with the Bears and that defense.
Yeah. And Carolina is actually the favorite to win this by -2. So Vegas isn't really certain about it, but it's a good. I would put my money on Chicago. I think it's not a safe bet, but it's a good enough risk to get the good reward for it. The over/under is 45 points. I also like that too, because you got to assume that the Panthers are going to put up what they normally put up, and Chicago's got to keep up. They got to keep up, yeah. And it's really going to. I think it's going to come down to the last or the fourth quarter before Chicago pulls away, in my opinion. But next one, we got the San Francisco 49ers. This was my matchup nightmare. I had Mr. Aaron Donald, possibly Defensive Player of the Year. I just don't see that injured offensive line being able to control that defensive line in the Rams. So I have Los Angeles winning this. And Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm not going to be surprised if we see Jimmy getting benched. Yeah. Not going to be surprised.
Yep, said it earlier. He may be getting benched for the second week in a row with that bum ankle. I mean,
well, he's 100%. He said so.
Well, he shouldn't have came out and said that. I wouldn't have said nothing, especially kind of against the Rams and that defense. But we'll see what happens. Like you said, the Rams, hands down, I think they dominate this game.
Yeah. Honestly, that's an idiot move, right? Like, hey guys, I'm 100%.
I'm good to go. I'm gonna like this Rams dude. No, I'm not.
Hey, you should just been like,
just been quiet.
I'm getting better.
You shouldn't have said anything.
I'm taking it day by day.
I'm better.
I'm taking it day by day. Because then if you suck, you can just go like, my ankle fucking hurts.
Yeah. Well, now
excuse my language.
Told and it's for his hurt ankle. Now he was 100%. What do you
yeah. So now you just took the narrative away from your own team being able to protect you. Now the next day, if they lose, everybody's gonna be like, "Is Jimmy Garoppolo that guy?"
Now the head coach comes out and says, "Well, he said he was 100%, so
yeah,
he sucked." I don't know. Ask him all the.
So 49er fans, tomorrow on Renee's rant, I tell you what, I'm gonna be eating that ass up if he doesn't perform, because he is 100%. He said, "All right, man, we got the Chiefs and Bills. This is a Monday Night Football game. It was moved because of the COVID-19. So the Bills had a rough game against Tennessee last week. A lot of it was due, or I'm going to say that what slowed down the offense was penalties, getting in deep third downs situations where they weren't able to convert. What are your thoughts on this game? Who's going to win?
You know what? The Chiefs just coming off that loss against Oakland, they can't come out and lose 2 in a row. So I think that offense just explodes against the Bills. I mean, they've got something to prove at this point. You know, people are starting to question, is that offense? And they're not the caliber that they were in years past by any means, but people are starting to question them now. So I think Patty Mahomes comes out and shows out.
Lights it up. Monday night. Oh, actually, this is what's weird. It's actually not. It's actually not Monday night. Yeah,
Monday afternoon.
It's like at 2:00.
See how you're supposed to watch that.
It's super weird. Shout out to my job because I'll be able to watch it. But here's my thing. There's one guy that makes me question this game. It's Tre'Davious White, the best cornerback, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Just happens to play for the Buffalo Bills. We saw what happened to Josh Norman. If Tre'Davious White does not play, because as of right now he's questionable. If he does not play, I got Kansas City winning this game. Because it's gonna allow them to open up the field. Patrick Mahomes do what he normally does. The Kansas City's defense is suspect. I think they're suspect. I've thought that since last year. I just think they caught momentum, given off of what Patrick Mahomes was feeding, and they were winning games. But I mean, you got to think about it. In the playoffs last year, they had to come back because the defense was giving up 20 points in the first half, and then finally when they started clicking, and then Patrick Mahomes and that offense started running. But at that point, it's a momentum shift. That's where it's all psychological. The defense is like, holy shit, get us keep You got to stay on the field, give us a break, because Patrick Mahomes is slinging the rock.
Yeah.
What I think is Buffalo is going to if White plays one of the best cornerbacks in the league, difference maker for this Buffalo defense. If he doesn't play, I got Kansas City winning this game.
So a corner, that's what
I'm putting it completely on White.
All right.
We're talking about top 5 corner. You can even make the argument for being the best corner in the NFL for this guy. This guy is a goddamn stud. If he plays, Buffalo Bills are going to win this game 20-17. And the key word I said there, or key number I said there is 17.
That's what
if you push Kansas City to get 17 points, Buffalo, you are stamping yourself as a Super Bowl contender. This game means more than any game in the NFL at this point until you get into the playoffs. If you want to solidify yourself as an actual threat to even win your division, this is it, baby. Josh Allen, you have got to ball out, but it's specifically on Tre'Davious White.
You ain't holding the Chiefs to 17 points.
I don't know, Kevin. I got Buffalo winning this game. I'm telling you right now. Unless he doesn't play, Buffalo Bills are winning this game. And it's because they're going to slow down that offense. Kevin, we got the Browns versus the Steelers. This is one of my favorite games, and this game starts here at 11. We got 13 minutes before I got to end this show. But this is the one, Kevin. This is the game to watch. There's 3 games. There's the Buffalo game and the Kansas City game. There's the Browns and the Steelers, and then there's the good old, we're about to talk about it, Green Bay Packers against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But this game is hot. We got Baker Mayfield playing his best football. But the only reason he's playing is that great football is because that running game is eating. They're eating lunch. They're eating dinner. They're eating breakfast. They're waking up early just to eat breakfast. That's how good they're balling out. But you can't forget the Steelers defense, top 5 in the NFL. That defensive line is the best in the NFL as far as getting to the quarterback. What you got here, Kev?
I'm feeling all the upsets today. I'm taking the Browns. I think that offense, they're clicking on all cylinders. Like you said, they may not run the ball as well as they have against everybody else, but you know what? They dismantled my Colts defense, and we're up there too. So I'm not saying they have as big of a game as they did against the Colts. Maybe not put up 30 points, but that offense is potent, man, and their defense is pretty good too. They're oh man, what's the word? They just they take advantage of any opportunity. They can have a turnover at any point. The Browns defense. So,
Yeah.
We'll see. I like the Browns in this matchup though.
I'm going to agree with you 100% there. I don't love the Steelers. Don't get me wrong. I think they're playing great football. I think a lot of people are judging as far as big men being able to get the ball down the field, which I think Cleveland's going to kind of force him to throw the ball down the field to test his arm. I got Cleveland winning this game. That dog pound, it's lit out there, man. They are hyped as ever. They're finally healthy. I think right now all they have missing is the Browns are missing one of their solid cornerbacks as well as a linebacker. I don't think that's an issue right now because this defense has depth. We've seen this team show us the capabilities that they have to perform, and it starts with this defense. I know a lot of people get high on that running game, but the only way the Browns can win this division is slowly on that defense. The running game is just an added piece to it. It's just it's the icing on the cake, bringing that run defense, and then when Baker Mayfield performs, that's just the candles on the cake. But you can't have a party without the cake, and that's the defense, baby. That defense has to perform. I understand the Steelers have the best defense in the NFL right now. I get it. But are they really? Did we see what Carson Wentz put up on them last week? Did we see the numbers that they were ever able to exploit on them? They sure were. And I think the Browns continue to do what they're doing. They're going to pound that rock. Ben's going to get blitzed like we've never seen before. And I think the Browns edge this out. And I'm going to say a 30-27 Browns victory.
Myles Garrett is really good. He
MVP
had
numbers
2 or
right
3
now.
sacks in the first quarter against the Colts last week. He's a monster. And that defense is opportunistic. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Opportunistic. Those guys, they make it happen, man. So we'll see. And when you get a good pass rush coming off, you get down a little bit, Myles Garrett's going to eat, man.
I wish Borbas was here because my friend wasn't giving Stefanski enough credit when he left Minnesota. He was like, oh, well, he's really not that great. But I'm like, you're a fucking hater, bro. Excuse my language. You're a hater, boy, but Stefanski is a good coach, and he's the only reason that I thought Kirk Cousins was having the type of numbers that he was having. And he's doing the same thing with Baker Mayfield. It's the play action pass. It's the run. It's sticking to the run. Even when you go down in the game, just sticking to the run. Stefanski has shown that he's gonna stick to the running game and allow Baker to make plays off the play action. If you get away from the play action, I mean, the only thing is like obviously if you force the way Pittsburgh wins this game is you have to force Baker Mayfield to beat you.
Right.
Yeah. If you force Baker Mayfield to beat you, I like my chances. Because I'm looking at 70-30. It's going to take a great game for Baker Mayfield for you to lose this game if you force him to throw it. Yep. So I will say if Baker Mayfield throws over 25 times, or not 25, 30 times this game, expect the Steelers to win. Expect the Steelers to win. But I got the Browns, as you said. I got at -3. If you can get half a point, I think -3 right now is sitting at like 120. Or -120 on the money line. So if you can add a point to it at 3.5, I would love that bet. I love that bet. I know it's going to be sitting at like 140, and you might not think it's not worth the value, but this is the one. That's the one where I would put my money at. All right, Kev, we got the Packers and Bucks.
Ooh. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. He's going off this year, man. And they get Devontae Adams back today. It's a wrap. I don't think Tom Brady can keep up today. I think if they get into a shootout, Aaron Rodgers just dominates this game.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is, you want to avoid the shootout. And this defense has shown that they're capable of stopping quarterbacks. But you can stop quarterbacks all you want. But when you got Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the field, it's not just a quarterback. You got a quarterback, a running back. I mean, God damn it. You can't even say he's a receiver, even though I never seen him catch a ball. But this guy is completely balling out. Last week, Russell Wilson, Green Bay had a bye. Russell Wilson displayed his eliteness. And I think this week, with Seattle having a bye, Aaron Rodgers is going to remind the NFL, you shouldn't have drafted Jordan Love because I'm not going anywhere, baby. I am here, and I'm here to win. And Aaron Rodgers is going to show Tom Brady, because it's not even Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady. It's Aaron Rodgers against the defense, like he said, and Tom Brady against the Green Bay defense. And this defense is just not going to be able to keep up. The one thing is the only way that Tampa Bay can win this game is if they bring hot pressure and hope that Aaron Rodgers doesn't find Devontae Adams. Other than that, this will be a blowout. Blowout, Kevin.
Rodgers is motivated, man. Rodgers is, like you said, you should not have drafted that quarterback. He's going to show you. He's still got it.
Do you watch the Pat McAfee show?
Oh yeah, I love
yeah.
Do you watch Pat McAfee?
Do you watch his interviews with Aaron Rodgers on Tuesdays?
Oh yeah,
oh
Rodgers
dude,
Tuesday, man.
Aaron Rodgers, like if you hate Aaron Rodgers, go watch that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he'll make you love him.
Yeah, yeah. Do you happen to remember his quote exactly? A down year for me is like an amazing year for any other quarterback. I mean, the man
he ain't lying. And what did he say? It's just facts.
Yeah, it's just facts.
It's just facts. I tried to tell Borbas that last year because he was shitting on my man. I mean, not my man. Hey, chill out. That's the whiskey talking. He was shitting on my dude.
Well, man, Rodgers, y'all heard that, right?
Yeah, but I posted it on my Instagram. I was trying to win this $1 million giveaway for Pat McAfee, but whatever. But shout out Pat McAfee, man. If there's any, I honestly get a lot of my information through that show. Yeah. That and NFL Live. If you're watching First Take and all that, I mean, it's just for entertainment at that point. But if you want some real shit, Pat McAfee, NFL Live, or just follow Adam Schefter. I mean.
His man Shefty. Shefty comes on that
Shefty, yeah, hell yeah.
J-Hawk. He's got people on there all the time.
Yeah, dude. I love that show. It's honestly a really good show. Last one, Kevin. I know you're looking forward to talking about this because I know you low-key want a Cowboys jersey. I got you.
You already know that song.
We got the Cardinals against the Cowboys Monday Night Football. Kev, I'm going to give it to you, man. We got 5 minutes, so you got 2.5 minutes to say something.
So I know you think I'm going to destroy your Cowboys, but
I know you ain't. I know you
flip the script and say Andy Dalton has himself a day today and shows these Cowboys fans that tomorrow shows these Cowboys fans that he can play, man, and he can. He played for the Bengals, man. I mean, look at him now. He's had some good teams. He's always had AJ Green, but look at this, and it pains me to say this, but look at this Cowboys offense, man. those skill players, that offensive line, there's no reason. I mean, there's a reason Dak was putting up the numbers he was. And I think Andy Dalton, maybe not to that caliber, but he continues the trend, man. He has a good game. And, gosh, I never thought I'd say this, but Cowboys beat the Cardinals this week.
Dang, what a way to bring you in. Get you out that comfort zone just a little bit.
Just because it's your show. I would have said, you know what, Kyler Murray's going to rush for 200 yards.
Which is very possible. Which is very, very, very possible.
I really think Andy Dalton has a good showing on Monday, man. I think he has a good showing, and unfortunately, it'll be a sad week for me. The boys win a game this week. So
Look, Kevin, the Cowboys' defense is terrible. One of the worst.
They're up there.
I think they're in top 3 as far as being the worst defenses in the NFL. Okay, they're giving up 32 points a game or 36 points a game. That's obviously unacceptable, which is why they're sitting at the record that they're sitting at 2-3, which they should be 1-4 if you want to count the Atlanta game. Here's the thing, though. Andy Dalton, as I said on my rant last week, Andy Dalton doesn't make them any worse. It doesn't give them the offensive efficiency, but it forces them to run the ball. There was a reason that you paid Ezekiel Elliott, and this is where you have to utilize this guy. If you get away from running the goddamn ball, like we said all this whole show, what got you to the dance? Ezekiel Elliott, you drafted him in the first round, number 4 pick, for a goddamn reason. It's beyond me why Jerry Jones has not brought a safety over to lock down the D. I mean, you got Van Der Esch coming back, which is cool, but he didn't really show anything in the first couple weeks before he got hurt. He didn't show. If anything, it showed that he digressed, and he didn't look great at all. The defensive line has got to perform, but I still think this is a shootout. The only reason I think Dallas wins this game is because I think they run the ball. They bring back Zeke, and Dallas edges this out 24-20. The only way Arizona can win this game is if they get in a shootout. Yep. If you get in a shootout, Dallas is going to lose this game. But they're not going to get in the shootout because Ezekiel Elliott is going to run for 150 yards. So if you got Ezekiel Elliott on DraftKings or you got him on your fantasy team, start him because Arizona has also given up 20 to 25 points a game, rushing yards allowed, 124 yards a game. You only expect Zeke to completely keep eating on this game. The guy got a goddamn tattoo on his stomach. Feed him. Feed him, Kevin. Well, Kevin, appreciate you coming on, man. Sorry that JB didn't join us today, but appreciate the love. Yo, this is Speaking Out Loud. Enjoy y'all's football weekend. Kev, cheers. I don't have any more in my glass, but we'll cheers. Y'all have a good weekend, man. Appreciate y'all. Join the rant tomorrow. I'll get on hopefully about 7:30. Also, don't forget Amity Boutique, Amity Boutique NM to get all your clothing wear for your lady. And if your lady is mad at you, the only way to kiss her ass is getting her either clothes or food. That's the way to go. So check out